Good afternoon, hello, my name is Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. If you've been following this channel for the last few weeks and months, thank you very much, but you'll notice that whenever I've been out with a club, I've whinged and moaned that, oh, it's too hard, they're riding too fast, I've been dropped, all of that. And some of that is because I'm not in the best shape, but some of it is because I didn't want to ride hard. Hang on, I need a little ring. So tonight is a little bit different. Tonight is Fast Friday, it's the Chaingang, and we've moved to our summer loop, which is flatter than the winter loop. And a few weeks on with training now, I feel like I've done a bit of intensity, done a couple of races. Now it's time for me to dish out some punishment. I always tell the lads when I'm getting dropped, you just wait, no mercy soon. I'm not going to show any mercy. And that is tonight. We have a tailwind out, headwind back, no, headwind out, tailwind back. I'm going to try and play it cool the first half, and the second half, which is the general consensus, I'm going to try and rip it up, really give them what for. Thanks for kicking my head in the last few months. But yeah, we're looking for a good hard ride tonight. I've got a camera on the bike, so I'll show you how it goes down. I haven't got a rear camera because I might not need it for one, and for two I've got a saddlebag on. But anyway, really looking forward to this. It's quite cool. I perform well in cooler weathers, and yeah, just look forward to a good group ride. Let's get stuck in. when you're in the form I'm in, any course, it's not a problem. Just throw it at me. No. Yeah, I'm not. Dean's more YouTube than I am. Check that out.
Wow, look at this.
It's like carrying a baby, doesn't it?
Trash talking done and dusted, let's get rolling. Let's also have a look at the bikes that people are riding. This is Dean on his super retro Cannondale CAD, down tube shifters a lot. Love to see it. Not my cup of tea, but it is his. The ride starts with us absolutely belting it across an industrial estate. I try and just hang on for dear life across here. I think people like to show each other that we are strong and we are out for a hard ride, and I'm all for it. This is like the beginning of the route. It's not that great for like riding fast in a chain, so we just sort of ease into it at this point. There's quite a lot of rough surface and so on, so we're just like looking after each other, but just getting into the rhythm of riding in a chain. Some people will sit on for the entire ride, so they won't pull through in the chain. Perhaps people who are coming back to fitness or had an injury and so on, and that's absolutely fine. So, but they'll often do like this little bit because it's slightly downhill. We really are sort of keeping it controlled so they can get that enjoyment of being in a chain without the pressure of having to do it when it gets really hard. I'm just following world record Saxby through. That is his, we think it's his backup bike for the record. If everything goes to plan, then we will be using another bike for the record to be announced soon, but he has got that one on standby. Now that of course is the bike he's been training on for the time being, about a 10-year-old Cervelo S3, but yeah, love to see it. Dean just pulling through there on his giant Propel. Now, the reason I want to talk about bikes a little bit on this ride is because a lot of people always say, oh, I'd love to like hear more about the bikes in the group. You always see them as loads of flash bikes. I don't want to break your hearts, but a lot of these bikes are like AliExpress specials. So, and I keep meaning to do a separate video on this sort of thing, but I've not really got around to it. So I'll point them out to you. So this S-Works here on the left-hand side, that is a Chinese replica frame. They cost about 500 quid, and I'd be the first person to slate them, but in honesty, nobody's had any problems with them. This Dogma on the left, £500 frame. This other Dogma on the left, £500 frame. And all the guys sort of got together and sort of, you know, bought them at the same time. And as I said, I'd love to criticize them, but they've all been fine. Nobody's had any major issues, and they get some hammer. That Air Road is legit. That is Mark's bike. That's a very nice bike. We all know that I'm a Canyon fanboy. And yeah, Saxby Cervelo S3 looking good. Anyway, it's getting slightly harder now. There are a few lumps on this route, nothing too major, but as you can see here, you know, Sax is pushing on a bit here, and I'm going quite hard. I think I was doing, you know, 420 watts up this little rise. I'm heavier than all of these guys here put together, but you know, my plan was to try and keep my powder dry in the first half, but I do need to still be there. I can't be getting dropped early on. So although this is a big effort, I am actually feeling pretty okay. The last few weeks training has been going well, so I'm feeling like, well, I want a good workout tonight. So when Sax pulls over here, I need to make sure that just for morale, I still just pull through. I don't just drop on his wheel or just sit alongside him. Even though we're going left here, I wanted to be clear, but like, yep, I've got the legs to come by you, just planting that seed so that later on, hopefully, he thinks twice about chasing me, but that doesn't really work. Anyway, a little bit further into the ride. Now, this is just me and Dean here, a bit of a change to this. So we have a regroup point halfway around our Chaingang loop. And I mean, everybody does club rides differently. Everybody has a different idea of what our club ride is. And there were a couple of people that were dropped and we regrouped for some of them and we didn't wait for the last person. So Dean and I waited a little bit longer and then the break, there was a split in the group. So obviously the rest of the group are gone and it's just me and Dean. I didn't think we'd catch them, but we just decided to ride 2 up hard. That's why you don't ride in cycle lanes, because there's cars all parked in it. So Dean and I basically just took turns now, roughly a minute or so each. And Dean's a strong rider, right? So I was struggling in honesty. When we got towards the climb at the end, I didn't really have anything left, but this is my workout. This is where I want to, get the good training session from. When I'm sat on Dean's wheel, I'm still doing like north of 300 watts. And then when I'm on the front, I was trying to push sort of 360, 370, for a minute or two, depending where we were on the road, and really get that good training effect. But I wasn't really recovering too much on the wheel, but good training. When we got to this point, we knew we weren't catching them. We had a bit of bad luck with traffic lights and stuff as well. So not really reaching my ambitions of showing the lads how strong I am tonight, but still having a good ride and a good workout nonetheless. Dean just flicks me through here. I've not got much footage of me on the front because it is just open roads, isn't it? But it wouldn't be a club ride or a group ride or any sort of riding, in fact, if there wasn't some sort of drama with a vehicle. And unfortunately, Dean and I here, as you can see here, this bus is like creeping out. I'm 6'2", 220 pounds, but apparently we don't see his flashing front light on, etc. But there you go, such is life. At least we didn't get wiped out. Yes, there was about 10 meters of a bike lane there, but that doesn't really, it's not infrastructure, is it? It's just a line on the road, and the driver couldn't see that. Anyway, so then we continued with a little bit of adrenaline in our systems and continued this ride. We then, just after here, it starts rising up and the climb is only about 2 or 3%, but it was just enough for me to get distance from Dean. He sat up and waited for me a couple of times, but I just didn't have the legs to really make him hurt on that climb. But I will keep turning up, I will keep giving this a go. Enjoyed the ride, well done guys, and I will see you next Friday.